What's going on, good people? Rich here.
School in the building. What's happening?
What's going on, everybody? It's your girl Ray P here.
Back
Oh,
at you
happy
again.
day.
Back at you again with another episode of the Culture Garden podcast. Definitely appreciate y'all tuning in for another week. We thank
Mhm.
you for continuing to rock with us.
Yeah.
Um, can't do any of this without y'all. So please continue to subscribe, to share, to listen, to comment, interact, the whole nine, man. We love it. We love the community. We're growing. We appreciate y'all out there. Um, quick, reminder, we got y'all. We have a feed called We
Yeah.
Got Y'all. It's not on the Culture Garden feed. All right,
Mhm.
but it is in our link tree, which is in the Culture Garden podcast um, page,
Network.
Instagram page. And we'll make sure that we put the website up on the episode description so you guys have access to the We Got Y'all, because that's where we talk about our television. We got a
Mhm.
lot coming up. We told y'all we were gonna do Harlem first, but we actually ended up doing Your Honor because I binge watched it. I couldn't stop watching it. I know school's in the middle of watching it. Ray P had
Yep.
binged to it. Me and
Man,
Ray just did episodes 1 and 2. We dropped that, so it's on the feed. Really fun episode. I think me and Ray hit a lot of points that a lot of y'all are thinking. Um, yeah,
it's good. Y'all
yeah,
go check it out.
it's good. And we got more coming up. We got a lot of television coming up in the months of February and March and throughout the year. So please get hip to that. Please subscribe. It's not going to be on the Culture Garden feed per se, but we want to make sure if y'all like television like us, slide over there.
Yeah.
But we're going to get into today's episode. But before we do, how y'all been, man? It felt like a long week since the last time we recorded. Am I tripping?
A
Nah,
little
it's been a
bit.
long week.
You should say a little bit both. Yeah, I don't know. It felt like what was our last one?
Our family wedding.
Yeah, our
Our
family wedding.
family
It felt
wedding.
like that was like 2 weeks ago. I don't know. Maybe I'm tripping.
I think it's the video, not having the video.
Ah, we didn't have
Mm.
a video.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
probably
not
what
having
I'm
the
thinking
video.
about.
Hmm.
Good
Yep.
point. Good point. What y'all do this weekend, man? Ray P, what you up to?
Uh, what did I do this past weekend? Nothing.
Yeah. Hey, you was shocked when I asked. Like, hold on, I had to think about it.
Well, you
Did
you
you
know what I
in my business a little bit?
hold up.
Hey, man, I was just, hey, I'm weak because I was on some pleasantries, and Ray was like, "Hold up."
Hold up. Get out my business. Mm,
I
Hey.
hope you know
Hey,
what?
hey, I'm weak really because the nigga ain't never started the episode with pleasantries. So
Yeah.
I was expecting like a little Rachel was like, hold up, man. Don't worry about it, sweetheart.
Don't worry about it, sweetheart. You know what? I really was taken aback. Like, now wait a minute. What
Yeah.
is
If you're
this?
not watching on YouTube, then you can rewind to that part because her face said it all. I'm like, all right, well, no more pleasantries, man. We'll get right with the shits.
No,
I
no,
would,
no, 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 no. It's a
I
good
know I'm
one.
fucking with you.
How about you,
Yeah.
School?
Hey, it was my baby girl's 6th birthday.
Oh,
Happy birthday,
yes.
Emery.
Happy birthday to my
Happy
niece, Emery.
birthday.
Yeah. So we went to this place called Altitude, and it was like a jumping place with
Oh,
trampolines. It
okay.
was lit. I'm old. I woke up sore and shit, but it's life.
Yeah, yeah.
In the words of my grandparents, keep on living.
Keep
Shit.
living.
Shout out to Eddie
Facts.
Lee and Flossie May. Shout out to them.
Mhm. Yes, sir.
Um, yeah, man. I changed my brakes this past weekend.
I saw you doing
Oh
that
man.
manual labor.
Yeah, that wasn't fun, but I had to get it done.
Yeah.
You
Real
know what I
man.
mean? Yeah, man. Still use our hands out here,
Man's
man.
man.
Still know how to fix shit.
Shout
Yeah,
out
I
to
mean,
y'all.
just had to remind people real quick.
Yeah, you
That's
new
good to
Um,
niggas'
die
hands be
approved.
soft.
you said what school?
I said these new niggas' hands be soft.
They do.
Yeah, straight up.
But for real, today, I guess not today, but today you're actually listening to this episode. If you're listening on the day it drops, is my birthday. So we're
Hey,
recording the day before my birthday. So
hey.
blessed to
Yeah.
see another year. You know what
Big
I mean?
birthday blessings.
You
Yes,
already
yes.
know. You already know. So with that being said, I
Mhm.
already told School and Ray for my birthday. I felt like this episode because they love this film that we're discussing today. They
Yeah.
love it.
Do.
I'm gonna kind of chill and sit back as a listener. Of course, I got some things to say. I got some points to make about the film, but I want to hear them break this, down categories, a whole nine, and that's my gift to myself because I'm such a fan of both of them. just kind of sit back and hear them talk about this film that they love so much. I'll get it started as far as the intro. Obviously, we're talking about what's love got to do with it. We'll talk about how we got into this film because it was School's pick. Like I said, he's going to take this over in a minute. But few stats for you. It was released June 25th, 1993. Directed by Brian Gibson, who passed away in 2004. So RIP to him.
RIP.
He only made 2 more films after this.
Mm-hmm.
You know, only made 2 more films. This is definitely his most notable. What's love got to do with it? It was written by Tina Turner and Kurt Loder due to the film being credited from the book I, Tina. And Kate Lanier is credited for the screenplay. Had a budget of an estimated $15 million and made $39.1 million worldwide. It's not on any streaming platform, so you have to own or rent this one, but it is $3.99, like we talked about. It's actually $4.30 with the tax, not $4.14 inflation. My bad.
Oh man.
Yeah, they bugging on us. But definitely an easy rent, worth the time, solely for the acting performances, if nothing else. For awards, it had 15 nominations and 3 wins. It was nominated at the 1994 Academy Awards for Best Actor and Actress in a Leading Role. Obviously, Angela Bassett and Lawrence Fishburne. Won Outstanding Achievement in a Feature Film at the 1994 American Choreography Award. Michael Peters was the choreographer. Angela Bassett won a Golden Globe for the Best Performance by an Actress in a Motion Picture, Comedy, or Musical. And she also won an NAACP Image Award in '95 for Outstanding Lead Actress in a Motion Picture. We obviously talked about Angela Bassett and Lawrence Fishburne. I know we're going to have a heavy conversation, or should I say y'all are going to have a heavy conversation about the 2 of them. But before y'all do, I do want to jump in and say this. So I'd say back in November, December, I threw out, I forget who it was, Empire Magazine made a list of the best, top 50 actors of all time or top 100, whatever it was. And I was just kind of taken aback by, the lack of talented melanin that wasn't on that list. And I started floating the idea, man, Culture Garden gonna have to make our own like top 50 best Black actors. And I put it on this stage and it got a lot of traction. And at some point this year, we are going to compile a list of the top 50 best Black actors. And I want to ask y'all, just as a teaser, Angela Bassett, Lawrence Fishburne, Ray P, where you think they ranking for you? Like they top 10, they top 5, like just a little teaser. It ain't gotta be long.
Definitely in the top 10, maybe top 5, but definitely in the top 10.
I think it's an easy top 10 call. What you think, Stu?
Easy top 10 call. I was gonna say 4 of my top 50 is in this movie.
Oh.
No. Yeah.
Okay, then. Save that. We'll talk about that later. I think it's an easy top 10. Low key / hockey. Like Angela might be top 2 for me.
Yeah.
For sure.
I mean? So, we're gonna have fun with that when we have those conversations. That'll become some point. We'll get that figured out. But I just wanted to tease that a little bit. You also have Jennifer Lewis as Zelma Bullock, Vanessa Bell Calloway as Jackie, Chi McBride. I know that's your boy Frost. A ton of other actors in this film. So, School, I'm gonna let you kind of take it away. Ray P, do your thing.
This nigga took off for his birthday.
Of course I did. Classic or not?
I'm gonna say yes, absolutely. But I will say this too, though. It can also go into that YouTube classic. Like if you just in the mood, if you just in the mood for some Ike Turner, you can just go to YouTube. You know what I mean? Like, and that's all I'm saying. That's what I mean when I say that,
Bro, what the fuck? Okay. Well, Rachel, is it a classic? Yes, 1000%. When I used to babysit, imagine, my little cousins, I used to, and this is probably traumatic. Oh my God, as an adult thinking about this, I used to watch this shit like every day. Would watch it on VHS, rewind it, and watch it again. Rich, you mentioned that it's a hard watch. And as an adult, fully, obviously, you know what abuse looks like as a child,
Right.
even as a young teenager, a young adult. doesn't take you to be 30 something to see that. A
Right.
woman getting her ass beat is wrong.
Yeah.
But the performances in this movie were so fucking good. I'm not just talking about the acting, but even like the choreography, the dances. Like,
Yes.
I can't believe Angela didn't win for this shit.
Yep.
I just, I am in love with this movie.
Mhm.
But after watching the I Tina documentary on HBO Max,
Yeah.
and to hear Tina say how much one she hates this movie,
Hmm.
how much she has not healed from her life in general, life with Ike, situations thereafter, I feel guilty with how much I love this movie because, like, am I laughing at your pain? Am I taking joy
Right.
in something that is this is like a sad ass movie. It's extremely tragic. Like, yes, Tina triumphed in the end, but
Yeah.
it's my shit.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
This my shit.
It's excuse me. It's funny that you even that must have been an older sibling thing or a big cousin thing because my first memories with this movie is my older sister at my grandparents' house,
Uh-huh.
HBO. This was on like Showtime Woman or HBO Woman or something like that all the time. And we would watch this shit. And my sister's 8 years older than me. So there's no way I'm touching the remote.
Right.
So I'm like, I'm like 6 or 7, and that's my first experience with this movie. And I loved it. Like I already love music.
Hmm.
I remember the very beginning is just so iconic. That's her
Yeah.
as a little girl. Just and I at that time, Richard tell you I wanted to be a singer. Like I used to write music,
Do you sing?
not like I wanted
When
to
he was a
be able
kid,
to.
he actually could sing. Like it
You
wasn't
just
far
haven't
fetched
honed
for
it.
yeah, it wasn't far fetched for him to be like, I want to sing. Like
If I would have got some lessons, I'd have been all right.
You
For
don't have
real.
to have lessons. It just enhances. If you have the
Yeah, but
natural.
puberty is a motherfucker. It
Okay,
really
fair,
is.
fair, fair,
So
fair, fair.
yeah, so for sure. But
Damn,
yeah,
yeah.
so
My little
that's
cousin.
my
I
first
guess
experience with it.
for the sake of it, I will answer the question. It is a classic.
Mm,
It's definitely a classic. Ray, I agree with you as far as you kind of feel bad for even saying that. I
yeah.
know a lot of that is to do with man the performance by Lawrence Fishburne, Angela included, but Lawrence Fishburne. Like let me just say this real quick. I call it the good to see you scene
Hmm.
when she came back from the hospital after the suicide attempt.
Yeah,
Like,
Hey, good to see you.
hey, anybody can be a rambling fool, right?
Hmm.
It's
yeah,
hard to act like one.
yes.
And the way he delivered that scene, that was a monologue full of
Mhm.
gibberish, topic to topic, the
Yeah,
demeanor of somebody being high, like the unapologetic nature that he had. That's every
man.
emotion you were supposed to feel towards Ike. You felt it from his performance. There's not a lot of actors who've ever walked this earth that can pull off something like that. Like I
For
Yeah.
just
sure.
gotta like that's why this film is so good and it's such a classic. The subject matter of it though is obviously tough. And I guess one of my issues with it, and this is what I want to say, I feel like this for this to be advertised as the Tina Turner movie,
Hmm.
like it's really Ike and Tina's story. I don't know if they celebrated her enough for this to be her movie. Like I know it took about 55 minutes for the
Hmm.
first form of physical domestic violence to take place,
Yeah.
Mhm.
but once they got rolling with that, they got rolling with that.
Hmm.
Mhm.
And obviously I know it's 1993. If it's 2023 and you're making that film, you're gonna do like a 6 episode miniseries, right? I get that, but I
Yeah.
don't know. Something about it just felt like, what was your intent of this movie? Was it to really show these scenes? Like, I don't know. I just it's kind of weird. And I know Tina and I know Ike and Tina joke has been going along on as long as we've been alive, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
And you grow up with it in comedy. You grow up thinking
Mhm.
that it's funny, like you know what I mean. And listen, man, we all a little fucked up, man. There's some
That's
humor,
the movie.
there's some humor and some dark shit sometimes,
Mhm.
right?
Hmm.
Mhm.
And I'm not excusing anything, but like I said, it was grown up and taught to be a comedic thing. And you sit here and watch this. I'm like, damn, man. Like, and Tina's a real person. She's got to hear all this shit that niggas is laughing at too. And like, when you think about that as a grown man, it makes things hit a little bit different, man. So it's a tough watch, but it is enjoyable because I wanted to see more triumph, but it is enjoyable overall because of the performances were great.
Yes, they are, brother. Yes, they are.
I think it's very interesting that you say that. And it's something that I hadn't really thought about. But you have to remember, so 93, when did Tina actually the time it took for her to become liberated, number one,
Man.
and then two, to actually get her own thing off the ground. She wasn't Tina by herself on her own popular really until the mid 80s. So for this to come out in 93, you know what I'm saying? She doesn't, the majority of her story is Ike Tina. And so that's why at the end, you know, she's finally had What's Love Got to Do with It, which she hated at first, ironically enough. But that big hit came so much later in life. Like she already was 60 damn years old, damn near, when that came out, you know?
That's a great point. Good point. Great point.
Great. Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. But here's my thing with the movie. The one thing that really, I mean, I know we're not at that point of what bothers me, but it goes back to what you were saying, Rich, about the story. Like, if you don't really know Tina Turner, then you don't know. Like, my point being, they didn't give us any of those triumphs that you're speaking of. Like, they don't ever, the biggest thing they do is show you that $25,000 check, but they never show you that she has any #1 records.
It's in the credits.
But you know, like when Temptations, there's a scene of the billboard, and they showing their songs moving up in the billboard. Like, that's my point. Like, if you don't know about Tina Turner, you don't know if she was even popular. Like, you know, they do a couple concert marquees. Oh, they're with the Rolling Stones. Like, but the Rolling Stones in the 60s, 70s was coming up just like they were. So that name didn't mean anything. Like,
not quite. They're a little earlier because you have to think the Rolling Stones bit off of Muddy Waters, and that's the 40s.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So top early 60s, the Stones and Ike and Tina were pretty much at their peak. And you have to consider the Stones had crossover popularity because, you know, from over there, you know.
Yeah.
So
that's what helped them.
That was them showing, look at the peak, at the pinnacle of our career. This is what we're doing. So while they really didn't have, to your point, the scrolling marquee of hits, the various tour dates, you know, them motherfuckers were sold out. They wasn't empty. They weren't playing Club Bijou,
right?
You know, so they were playing full houses, and I think that was trying to shine a light on the point that you're making.
Right. What's some of your favorite scenes?
I would say let's get into it. Okay, well, first off, as a church kid, as a choir girl, I'm gonna open it up with the opening scene.
Yes.
With This Little Light of Mine, because first off, is that not your first church song? Is This Little Light of Mine?
Always.
And little Ann was singing. Okay, she was singing down, and it just reminded me of, again, a church kid. The ways that the church has changed, because now all that blues shouting is
that's mandatory.
What you get it or got in gospel music before they started trying to water it down to CCM, but whatever. I love that shit. That is one of my favorite scenes. Like, it makes you feel good. You don't even know what you're about to get hit with. If you didn't know the story, okay, yep, started singing in church. Yep, typical singers. Oh shit. Wait a minute.
Yep.
Instant
and
trauma.
good old choir director Hattie Banks.
Exactly. Shout out to her. So I'm gonna open with that, and then I'm gonna fast forward us a bit. I'm gonna get to Ann's second time at the bar. So she's left Nutbush, Tennessee, And now she's in St. Louis, and she's already gone to the club with Eileen one time. And so this time she come, Coca-Cola, please. She's got her
Yeah.
Eileen's white dress on that she specifically told her not to touch. It's the next time, other than some humming and singing, that we really, really hear and see Ann on stage with them shoulders and that smile. Like, she killed that shit.
Yes, she did.
And shout out to Ike. It let us, the first time we see that Ike is popular and we see the women going crazy to sing with the band. But when Tina got on stage, the fact that he and the band were so taken aback by her performance, by her, I don't really want to call it stage presence, because them shoulders and that rock really wasn't it. But that voice is
so good,
a fucking powerful weapon. Like, it's a weapon, you know, not just a tool. Like, that motherfucker's deep. So I'll start there and let you go.
All right, so I'm gonna go. I'm agreeing with you on those, and I'm gonna go a little bit earlier.
Okay.
I'm gonna go when she gets off the bus.
Okay.
You know, obviously her grandmother has passed. She hasn't seen her she's never seen her mom or her sister. So she's about to get off this bus. She gets off this bus and she has the upper hand. Y'all don't know, you know, when y'all see her and all that. And then my favorite thing about this whole scene is Jennifer Lewis, man. Jennifer Lewis is just so good. She plays that role of you know, she was a young mother who didn't want to live in the country. Like, I'm about this city life, this fast life. I'm sure that's why her and her husband broke up. But
and I think he was hitting on her too.
Yeah. But also she wasn't gonna let her guilt her into anything.
Yeah.
When she told her, you know, that was a good pie, you know, trying to just compliment her. That's a good pie. Who taught you how to make it? Your grandmother? Well, obviously, like, who else? Like, she said, listen, I'm gonna let you know this right now. You ain't about to guilt me in my own house.
Right.
Me? Sheesh. So that's one for me. You got another one?
Oh, sure. I was gonna say though, did you know that Jennifer Lewis is only like a year and a half, maybe two, older than Angela Bassett?
Yes, I know she auditioned for the role.
So for Jennifer Lewis to be like the mother of Black Hollywood, and Angela, now we see her as Queen Mother because of Black Panther, but she still is like a sexy, still seen as a sexy woman, not the mother of Black Hollywood. So now maybe she might be because of being a queen, but yeah. Okay, I'll move to the first rehearsal of Make Me Over. First time Ann gets to the house, we meet for real the background singers, the girls, and the rest of the band sort of up close. And Ann is smoking that shit. We got Mama talking about Ruffa. What do you mean, Ruffa? You gotta scream like a damn man. That's a favorite scene just because love that. I'ma skip over Lorraine shooting herself, and I'ma skip over and staying once everybody left, because that's something that bothered me and something that I have a question with, because girl, what the fuck is you still doing there? Everybody is gone. And it wasn't dark when they left. So I need to know, is this a continuity issue or your ass fully intended on being there? And mind you, I guess I'm not skipping that. I'm into it.
Okay, we here.
And she was a young girl. She's like 16, 17 years old.
She's like 16. Yep.
I literally just had a conversation about me being 15, 16, 17, doing things I ain't had no business doing.
No business.
But like, Eileen, you left her? Why would you leave her there, sister? Damn.
She was getting chased. You see the little dude was under her.
Okay. But here is the real thing though. In real life, at this time, Tina was dating the saxophonist.
Yes. And I love when movies do that. When she first comes in and they introduce to the band, they make a point of her talking to him and him talking to her and blah, 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 blah. And that's just to let you know, like, that was the real man in her life for the first 2 or 3 years of her being in St. Louis. That's crazy.
Her first child
Yep.
is Spider's baby. Rest
Mm-hmm.
in peace, Craig.
Rest in
That's
peace.
not. I mean, Ike adopted him, but nigga, I got to be in your band, letting you talk to me crazy. I low
Yeah.
key probably really love this woman. Watch you
Mm-hmm.
beat her ass and take my son.
Yeah. It's
This is
wild, man.
Wouldn't let that shit happen to me though.
You hear me?
me like, what the fuck is going on in St. Louis, Missouri?
Hey,
Um,
it's wild.
it was wow, and this is low-key one of my favorite scenes just because it was shady. So again, not skipping. So Ann is still at the house, and she and Ike are at the piano, and he goes, "Open your mouth. You ain't
Uh-huh.
never been to the dentist, have you?" So don't you tell me that my breath stinks because I got all these cavities. Like
Basically.
that's what he was saying. If people don't know that, he got a bunch of cavities.
Mm-hmm.
Go to
Can I
the
just
dentist.
interject real quick and just say I'm salty right now? Cause never mind. Go
No,
ahead.
what?
Nah, cause I went to the dentist today, man. I gotta get some work done, and I'm salty about it.
Yeah, it
What?
costs the arm and the leg, even with insurance. But anyway,
Even with
um, I want to jump in and I want to
yeah,
say I'm surprised that you didn't have the scene of just Ike when he first just his swag and just how he pretty much gamed her up heavy. Did
big
he
heavy.
not?
He did. He
Oh,
did.
okay.
He
He
gave
get
her and her mama up.
and her mom showed her cards from the jump. She is
Yeah,
money hungry.
yeah,
When that man slid her that 200 for her to
yeah.
show up at at 7 o'clock,
Mhm.
what do you mean rougher? Yeah, all right.
But think, what year is this? 50 something?
50
$200?
something because they ran over the bushes. And she looked at the bushes like he ain't
That's
run over them
untouched.
damn bushes. Yeah, come on.
That wasn't a little bit of money.
No, it was not.
So,
No, it was not.
is
No,
it
it
weird
was
to
not.
say shout out to Ike for balling? I don't know, but
Well, another side note, Rocket 88 was a big hit.
it was a big
That
hit.
was his
Yeah.
first little big hit. So he had it, shit.
Mm, mm, mm.
He had it. He had it. So shout out
So,
to Ike, man.
shout
Yeah,
out to
'cause
that.
listen, can I just jump in real quick and just say
Yes.
this? Like, Ike was um he was a decent character for about 20, 25 minutes. Like he was like, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? You didn't have a reason, like, other than knowing the real life story.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
you're just watching the film, you know he a little bit, nutso, but
Yeah, I mean, well, Eileen tried to say, every woman in here is in love with Ike Turner. So we see that he gonna be a hoe,
Mhm.
yeah.
or a
Yeah. Yeah.
womanizer. But
Yep.
what you uh, I
Yeah, as
wanna
far as like
say
the savage shit that he was doing. Like
right,
he wasn't shit. We wasn't shit the whole movie. But he wasn't like
right.
no, like, oh shit, Ike, what the fuck you on?
But you
Well,
know what?
even you, I love the fact that the scene where he first talks to her and he says he sent Spider to get cigarettes and then he pulls out cigarettes. If she had 2 or 3 years, a little bit more experience, she would have got up from that table at that moment. You feel me? Like she just so country and I thought you sent him to get cigarettes. Like
She might not have got up. She might have thought it was
I,
smooth. She wouldn't have been naive about it. She would have been like, I feel you. Okay. Peep.
mm,
Yeah, she probably wouldn't have got up. But what I
yeah.
wanted to say is that I believe that it's Jackie while they're at the house for that whole make me over scene. It's either her or I'm about to call her Pam, but that's not her name.
I know. I don't remember her name.
Um,
You talking about the chick from CB4?
Yeah.
I'll look it up. Y'all keep talking.
Darlene. It's in my notes. um, it's either Jackie or Darlene that says, I ain't gonna beat your ass or where you're out. And they're talking to each other about the steps. So that is our first
Sign.
inclination that wait a minute
Mhm.
now. It be some other shit going on here.
Yeah.
And every scene from there, from Lorraine, from the cavity situation, cavity gate to Lorraine shooting herself,
Not
we
Cavity Gate.
see that Ike is crazy.
Mhm.
Because the woman that you live with and does have two of your children,
Yeah.
just shot herself
Mhm.
in her stomach in the home while
Yep.
we're all here. And you still trying to have sex with me?
Ain't no trying.
Hey,
He did it.
that's like when a vet just left the clinic and Jody has to use her car so he can so he can slide over to P Dot's house.
Like, what? What is going on with the people?
Man.
Sick. It's a sickness, I tell you.
Hey, that's nasty work.
Nasty work, man. That's filthy work.
Nasty work.
Filthy word.
That shit disgusting.
Is so I would be remiss if I didn't mention the next scene as a blind bombshell. Clearly,
Mhm.
the hair dye scene.
Yes. Now
The
you know
hair
you
dye
need your ass whooped.
Now you know you need an ass whooping. That, but I have a fear, and shout out to Sala J, my hairstylist. She can color the fuck out of some hair, but I do get anxiety probably because of this movie. I mean, not enough to stop dyeing my hair blonde at this point, but every time I go get my color touched up, like I'm anxious. Like, oh my god, what if my hair fell out? That is
Man.
so real because it's happened. Back before I knew better and was doing relaxer and color. Oh my god.
Lord have mercy.
Yeah, it wasn't that bad, but I definitely had a situation where the hair was in the sink.
Mm.
Oh, thank God for Jesus. We are over that hump. Several years ago. And then I'm gonna move to Ike and Tina right before Fool in Love. I feel like I'm about to
Okay.
say every single scene is my favorite, so I don't want to take
They
over.
listen,
But
they all are. This movie is classic. And it's some scenes like, of course, none of the abusive scenes,
right,
but like like you said, the rape scene is horrible. But the scene leading up to that, like when they kicked everyone out the room and Frost is just talking shit, like and the white boys walking out with the coke, and that nigga said, "Hey, what you doing with that? That ain't no flower." Like,
That shit comedy.
he meant that shit. Like, yo,
he
what are
meant
you
that
doing,
shit.
bruh? And my favorite part of that whole scene is when he knocks on that window and Tina and she say, "Hey, don't get none
Don't get
on
nothing
you."
on you. Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
I love that, bro. Frost is my dog, bro. That's a loyal dude, man. You ask me why? Because that nigga is loyal.
Yeah, but that shit is crazy because now I'm looking at you like, what the fuck do you be doing? Other obviously
You
coke
already
too,
know. You
but
already know what he doing.
yeah, fuck all of y'all
Mhm.
as far as I'm concerned. Um, but to what I was gonna say about the scene right before Fool in Love, where Tina is saying, "Nigga, I'm tired. I've had this baby. You've taken me to
Mhm.
Mexico. You've changed my name, having some vocal issues, and for me, it's a callback to the scene at the house where Ike is again gaming her after Lorraine is
Yep.
bloody bruised and impaled at the hospital. And he's like, all these motherfuckers leave me.
Leave me.
And
Mhm.
he's so insecure, just like these niggas. He's so insecure and took her truly, truly, truly being exhausted as her trying to sabotage and abandon him. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So he gets into
Yeah.
you about the sorriest motherfucker I done ever seen. Like, you
Mhm.
just like these other motherfuckers. And she is having this whole internal conflict. Like, nigga, I can barely sing.
Yeah.
I can barely talk. So I have to muster literally everything that is within me to go out here and sing Fool in Love
And tore it off the frame.
and tore it off the frame. That single glory tear.
Yes. It's everything.
I felt that in my spirit. Fool in Love might be my favorite performance. Am I about to lie?
That yeah, you lying. That tail feather.
I was
Sheesh.
about to say other because you can't include Proud Mary because Proud Mary is
Yeah, that's all the way up there.
on its own. Like you can't include that. That's
But
something
far
else.
as just vocal, what's up there. The
Ooh,
Mountain High.
yeah. Uh River Deep, Mountain
Mountain
High.
High.
That is
Yeah.
my shit.
Oh shit, we get some vocals.
Me and
Yeah.
my friend, me and my friend Danielle, like we used to be screaming that in the hallway. That is my
Man,
song. Phil Spector,
Phil
he was like a
Spector.
sicko, but beautiful writing. I was
And
Full of Love might be one of my top performances in the movie.
side note, I think they played a little heavy on the jealousy of Ike on
You
that
think
Tina.
so? I
Well,
know.
the reason I say that is because Ike was obviously handling all the money, and his name is on that record. Like his name's all over it, so he's getting his credit.
Yes.
She's the singer that's known.
Yeah, but so is Ike.
Yeah,
And it's his
no, he the
band,
producer.
and that's his woman.
Yep.
Ike is everything. Ike is
Yeah, he a
everything.
dirty SOB.
Ike
And the
wanted
saddest
to
part,
be.
the saddest part about all this is we can't give Lawrence Fishburne his flowers as much as you want to because of the character he was playing.
Yeah.
But Lawrence was just like,
Hold on.
sheesh.
Can I interject? We
Please.
can't.
Yes.
I feel like we can.
I don't know
I
how
feel
to.
like, let me say this
to-
real quick. My bad. I feel like it's reversed. I feel like if Lawrence Fishburne in real life was on this shit, we couldn't even. It'd be hard talking about it. I've told School this. I've never talked to Ray about it. Told School this a lot. I'm really torn. One of my favorite movies just to watch is The Negotiator
Okay.
by F. Gary Gray, directed by F. Gary Gray, starring Samuel L. Jackson and Kevin Spacey. Kevin Spacey is a terrible fucking human being.
Yes.
One that I can't even sit here and imagine to talk about in a positive light, even if it is for his acting. So it's kind of rough. I feel like Lawrence Fishburne playing a terrible person, especially with the fact that he didn't like even get to shadow Ike.
Yeah.
All he really learned was how he walked. So everything that
right.
he did was like so on point. Like I feel like you can give him them. Like I said at the beginning, that's the reason like this film is a classic more than anything. You want to talk about bona fide just acting performances? These two leads just killed it.
Killed it.
I think Lawrence can get his flowers. I just wanted to shout that out but I feel everything you're saying, School, because Ike it's hard. I think we both in the same line of thinking that it's hard to appreciate those scenes while you're watching them and appreciate you seeing Ike do that bullshit because of how good Lawrence is doing it. Like in real life, it's bullshit. If you was there in person, ain't no way you going for it. You ain't witnessing it. Like you ain't interfering, like all interfering. Excuse me, shit, all that. You know what I'm saying? But on screen, it's like this nigga is on it. Like this shit is wild. It's a marvel to see, and that just goes to their talent. So I think that you can give him his flowers for it.
Side note, he recently did an interview with Jemele Hill, and he said that when he was 20, he got married early. When he was around 23, his wife was 21. He said he was abusive, and that's where he picked up a lot of that. He also said that.
Well, damn, Lawrence, you just killed the whole shit I just said.
Yeah. He also said he got therapy and got it all worked out, and he also would not let Brian Gibson, the director, shoot any of those heavy scenes more than 4 times. That was the limit. He said he didn't want anyone on set to live in that. Like that's a heavy emotional state to even go to. So he was like, we only shooting this 4 times, especially that rape scene. Like he's like 4 times. He said he wanted to be inside the booth. It was a small area. He told him, no, don't shoot us from the waist down, like only the waist up. Like, and also when he was hitting her, if you ever noticed, there was always something in the way, obstructing him. Like, so you as a viewer had to work, to, see it visually. He didn't want you to really see him hitting her.
Doing that.
Yeah. So, and he said he got the stare from black women for a very long time for that role.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure. How many times do we call character or actors by their character name? Like,
facts. Yeah.
Sometimes Tariq for the longest. He was the last. I think Tariq was like the last big example.
Yes.
I haven't watched. I'm doing my rewatch or not rewatch, but my first watch of Bel Air season 1 in preparation for We Got Y'all when we talk about Bel Air. But I've heard that Carlton. I heard that character Carlton was somebody people hate. Like to the point like he gets it in real life, and it's like, yo, I'm a character on TV. I haven't seen it yet. I haven't witnessed it yet, but before that, I know Tariq was that when he was on Power, like people hated Tariq. I always
Yep.
fuck with Tariq. I just want to say it. So everybody that's on Team Tariq now, y'all late, man. I'm telling y'all.
You have
bad.
been.
My bad. I'm shutting up. Y'all got it.
Well, what I was gonna say is that I was thinking about what you were saying about Lawrence Fishburne and having objects in the way. I guess probably the only time, maybe the limo scene and when Ike hits Jackie for the eat the cake anime scene, which is one of my favorite scenes. He smacked her for real in real life.
Oh yeah.
And Cleveland's very own Vanessa Bell Calloway was like, I wanted to whoop his ass for real. Like all of that became very real because he really hit me. I was like, oh, this nigga's crazy.
she definitely stole that scene. Like that whole scene, she commands that scene. So
100%.
I can feel that.
100%. I feel like we're still in scenes and we've been talking about scenes for like 30 minutes.
Keep going. I love this shit.
But it's so many. This whole movie is just like, man, it's scenes galore.
It's hard to break it down because usually when we have our scenes, like I might not say everything on my list, but I feel like because I love this movie and the way I feel about it, like no, everything is important.
Everything
I try
is
to
important.
think of what I could take out. And I really can't because moving on to the next scene when they at the house when Lorraine come drop the kids off, like we see that Ike is taking the money.
Playing daddy.
Oh, you playing daddy? Ike is taking the money and keeping it from Tina. Control. You whooping her ass and you keeping all the money.
Yep.
Hello. Then we see this is the first time we see that Darlene and Ike got a little thing, and there's a call to it. While they're on a plane, there's various little scenes in the movie where we see Ike and Darlene being
and
more.
Darlene is the number one hater.
And Darlene
is stayed dropping dimes and saying shit to Tina.
Yeah, because that's her nigga too. It's like he both for ours. I just keep it at your house. And again, we see Mama.
Hey, Mama's something else, ain't she?
Yeah, we see her basically tell Tina, like, bitch, he's just a man being a man. Like, and
he's a good man, Savannah.
He's a good man. We see that. We have heard that so many times from our elders. I mean, think of it. Just saying, like, let this man do whatever because now y'all got money. Now y'all got whatever. And that is a life, essentially, that she wanted for herself.
Yep.
And I think if her husband has some money, she might would have stayed in that bush. But you know, like, you kicking my ass and we ain't got no money.
Right.
No. I'll speed it up unless you want to jump in.
Go ahead, I'm with you.
Okay, yeah. So I'll speed it up. We're gonna get to Tailfeather because they was dancing their asses off. We see
killing it Spectre. Way ahead of their time.
Absolutely. You can put that dance break in a song on somebody's tour in a video today, and it will go off. Put that shit on TikTok. I bet you it was a challenge that
shit going crazy
because they was killing that shit. I seen you do the jerk all night, but
now you should. Now let me see you shake a tail feather.
You been over and let me see you do it.
You do it. Hey, they was killing it, wasn't they?
Love this movie. Oh my god. To your point, we see Ike being jealous. That's real good, and that's real good. Once he finally heard, you know, the whole
that belt. That's one of the coldest belts in history, nigga.
The one with the
hands, yes. I rock that shit right now, nigga. That's fine.
I'm not really gonna let you do that. I'm gonna stop right there. Hold on. I'm not gonna let you do that. I'm not gonna let you do that.
Then I'm going outside like that.
It's just a Halloween party. I'll go to the limo scene, the plane into the limo scene, just because it's the first time we really see Anne fight back. I cannot say that her suicide attempt is a favorite scene, but even just in the ambulance when Ike is like, "You hear me, bitch?"
I kill you.
It's not funny, but nigga,
But
Like I said earlier, man, sometimes we all a little fucked up.
yeah,
It's not funny. Like if we were really in that situation in real time, it would be no laughs. But
no laughs.
And hearing somebody say that goofy shit,
that shit is goofy.
The look in his eyes, you could see one that he was scared, but two, he's also high.
High as fuck.
He's in the clouds. Scotty is calling this nigga, okay? So just to do all of that, and I was glad to see she and Jackie have remained friends, all of that. But in the limo, you know, my girl was fed up, and she was, they was fucking each other up.
Yeah. And you could tell how comfortable Ike was in those situations.
Yeah.
That he just thought that, you know, oh, let me take this a step further and show you can't talk to me like that again. When he took off his shoe and then when he told her, wake me up at 6:30, huh? You hear me? Like he knew in his head, like I handled that. That's done. She gonna wake me up and nigga, please. She was fed up.
He had no qualms. This isn't in the privacy of our home. And even when it is in our home, we ain't here by ourselves. You didn't mind dragging me from the east to the west wing of the house, knowing we got 25 people outside who can hear us, who can see us because the bedroom is right here. Now we're in a limo. This nigga can hear us.
Definitely.
We have to check into a hotel, closed, bloodied, and torn.
Can I say something real quick? I'm sorry. Can I just say something real quick?
Yeah.
Every time I see this scene, you know what I think of? I wish I was in a theater to see what the audience reaction was when they walked in that hotel, both fucked up. I wonder if anybody laughed.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? There was nothing funny about it, but it was also like, so you so taken aback by it.
I got you.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if anybody would. You said what?
I think maybe just shocked, like, yo, what the fuck?
Yeah, like not laugh like comical, not comical, like what, like sometimes you give off the what the fuck? Like, what the fuck is going on?
What the fuck? Yeah.
Yeah, like I just wanted to like I would have loved to see the audience's reaction when that happened because that's I couldn't imagine seeing that in real time.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I don't know. Obviously, never saw it in the theater because of 90.
Right. I just would have loved to see. I would have loved to see. I would have loved to hear people's reaction or see people's reaction in the theaters. Like we've never really talked about this on the pod, but that's probably something we could just randomly older movies like we weren't old enough to see. Like ones that we just wish we could have been in the theaters to witness. Like I wish I would have been in the theater to witness Goodfellas and Godfather. This film just for that reason. But y'all got it. Go ahead. My bad.
Very interesting. Go ahead, School.
All right. Are we on to quotes?
We can go wherever. The whole movie is my favorite scene. Go ahead.
Do you have any? You got any quotes?
Yeah, we've already kind of said them. Your grandmama teach you how to cook. Who else? I'm the only I'm the only sinner in this house. Okay, because one.
Oh, no, that was a good one.
What I'm gonna do with 2 more kids? You got most of the nigga going to jail. Obviously I'll fire your ass. Oh, there's some good cake, and eat the cake, anime. Obviously, it is not okay to let some motherfucker pound on you, and you ain't got to hit me but once. Shout out to Jackie, who is my scene stealer. That's all that I wrote down.
I got them. I got don't think you're gonna guilt me in my own house. See there, white man asked her to open her mouth, she sing all night. You ain't got to hit me but once, motherfucker.
Yeah.
And Ike after that, when Ike tell her, and don't let me catch you around my house neither.
Man, Ike was crazy.
It ain't funny, man. But damn, man.
Because I know what he mean. Because hey man, I know exactly what he mean.
Somebody you've been around for
Yeah, she been
over
around so
20 years.
long that she probably could try to sneak back in without apologizing. That's what he's saying. Like, no, this for real, bitch. Don't come back over here.
Right. Exactly.
Everything you said, but another one of my favorites is when that little boy asked Miss Turner, "Can I get?" That's Mrs. Turner. That's a married woman you talking to. Like, come on,
Ike is crazy. He was crazy. All of that. Like, Mrs. Turner.
Hey, Ike was on some trash, bro.
That's that jealousy.
Hey, I got one that neither one of y'all said. School, did you go through yours?
Yes, yeah.
I just got one that neither one of y'all said that just gets me weak every time. Tell Leanne if she misses a step tonight, she'll be frying fish tomorrow.
Right.
That was like the first sign of Ike just like, oh, this nigga wild.
Yeah. It meant all of that shit.
He meant all that.
It meant all of it.
Yes.
I don't have it, but I just thought it was always really endearing when Jackie would say, "Oh, little Ann."
Oh yeah.
I thought it was great to call her by her name and not Tina. And I am surprised. I understand why. She said I worked too hard. In court. For to maintain that stage name. That name got my daddy blood on it.
Those are just great little things from Ike, man. This shit was cold.
I was gonna say I'm surprised that she wanted to keep it, but you sort of have to.
Yeah, you have to.
Even though you may not know that my name is in fact not Tina. Ain't nobody looking for little Anime.
Well, she's been with him for 20 years, so that's what all the people know her by. Shit.
Exactly. Exactly.
And I have to say this quote too. After she wins and they're in the hallway of the courtroom, the first thing he say to her, Anime Bullet. Yeah, y'all didn't know that's her real name.
Just a petty ass nigga. Just a petty ass.
He beat up Ike Jr. and everything, man.
Your son. This ain't even my child.
That ain't even his son. That's her son. That's his son.
Exactly.
Anime
I don't know
Bullet.
what I was about to say. Where were we? I'm sorry.
I think y'all got through quotes.
Yes, and then
okay, I didn't really have.
Scenes still.
Oh, I was gonna say, hold on, before we do that, and neither one of us mentioned it because I know we sort of moved quickly because we were belaboring the point.
Yeah.
In the first still pretty much hour of this movie. But the scene in the dressing room after Ike, tries to show up with flowers, his and the third, right before the final credits, what you gonna do? Beat me, Ike? Tina was so over that nigga, over that shit. Like she was so unfazed and was so empowered just by sort of her own rise from the ashes, essentially. Like that probably, I can't believe I didn't mention it. That really is one of my favorite scenes because a nigga will show up on that same old trash that they've been on and think that you're supposed to be moved. And I just want to shout out to Tina for being like, nigga, okay, you're gonna hit me here, you're gonna shoot me, do it. You're not gonna do shit,
What are you gonna do? Hit me, beat me? Yeah.
Tina say, you know what I think? I think you pussy. You're not gonna do shit.
You're not gonna do it. You owe audio. Oh, Sue Records. Okay, sorry. Go to the next one. What are we doing? Things that bother me?
Yes, things that bother you.
Or scene stealer, whatever y'all want to do.
Well, scene stealer, she already said her scene stealer.
Yep. Vanessa Bell Calloway as Jackie.
I'm gonna say Frost. That's my scene stealer, man. I fucks with Frost this whole movie.
Rich, you got a scene stealer?
It's Vanessa Bell Calloway for me, like far above and away. But I got a little scene stealer. I just want to shout out because it is one of my favorite scenes. I love that scene when she goes to the other hotel and she's pleading for that room, and you just feel like, especially when she said she got what 61 cents, was it 69 cents?
36 cents.
Yeah.
And a mobile card, like
Mm-hmm.
your heart just breaks.
Yeah.
And just her Angela Bassett's her portrayal of that desperation. Like I cannot afford y'all to say no right now.
Yeah.
And them picking up on that and them just being sympathetic and understanding, and obviously like you Tina Turner, like it'd be an honor.
Mm-hmm.
That actor is the same guy from an episode of Martin that got the Jaws episode. No Justice, No Peace is the name of the episode of Martin.
The cop.
Yep, School and myself talked about it when we did our Martin breakdown. We did the best episode ever. That episode actually is like, I think made the top 5. No Justice, No Peace. I just got to shout him out just because he's in there. I love Martin. Me and School definitely love it to death. And I just love that scene as a whole because she got it wasn't a tragic, like, yeah, we got you. Like, we're going to protect you because we wanted to see that for Tina, especially at that point of the film.
Yeah.
Yes, and I think that's also a call. What's the word I'm looking for? I can't think of it right now, but it definitely shows that she wants to keep her name, and why? Because he wouldn't have known her if she would have been like, "I'm Anna Mae Bullock."
That's real. That's real. That's real.
Fair. Okay,
so
things
that bother
you got anything that bothers you?
I really didn't have too much, and maybe that's just from looking at a nostalgic place. Having watched this movie several 100,000 times, you know.
And let me be clear real quick. My bad. Let me just cut in. This is from a film perspective. Obviously, domestic violence bothers all of us.
Everybody.
I know that doesn't need to be said, but for a lot of people, it does. So I just want to make sure that people don't like what the scenes where yes, of course, all that bothers us. We're just talking about from a filmmaking perspective. My bad. I just had to say that for a disclaimer. For the internet.
I forgot.
I guess, and this is just only because I know it. I guess I really would have liked to see. I've already touched on it. The real relationship between she and Spider. Like, nigga, this is his baby. They were carrying on. I don't know how relevant it is because he stayed in the bed. He didn't leave. I just really wanted to know how that went. And Ike adopted their son. How do you feel?
Yeah,
like you just signed over?
It's not like it's gonna make us. Him stealing her from him is not gonna make us love or not like Ike any. You know what I mean? Like we already not gonna like this nigga, so you might as well add that in. Shit.
Right. So I don't know. That's really probably it. I don't have much.
Yeah, I don't have much except for what I mentioned earlier. I just would have liked them to speak on how big they were, even if it was just them going somewhere and people being like, "Ah, shit, that's Ike and Tina," a crowd of people, something. Like, I just felt like they never let us really know how big they were, and they were big. So that's my thing.
I just kind of said mine earlier at the beginning of the episode. It's hard. Hindsight is 20/20, obviously. Everything you just said, Rachel, all the things you wanted to dig more into, that happens in 2023.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like like I said, we get more episodes, we get more time. It's not trying to tell this big story in 2 hours. So I guess that's the only thing. And like I said, this hindsight is a very small thing. Still love the film, but there's so much more. I'll never forget, man. I remember seeing Ali when Ali came out back in 2001 with Pops and the fam. And I remember my Pops is a big Muhammad Ali fan. And I asked him, like, what you think about the film afterwards? He was like, man, there's just so much they didn't get to. So much they didn't talk about. And it's funny thinking about that. Like I said, they make stuff like that now for television. So that's the only thing. It's not their fault, so I can't say it bothers me. This is what you did. Like, this is how it was made in 1993. But I would have loved to just have more, especially if it involved those two acting. Could you imagine 6 or 7 episodes of more? Like,
of them just going. I could
Yeah.
see that. I would like that. You know what? I just thought of something. I saw a viral clip of Tina on stage one time, and we see that the costumes were skimpy, you know. She was very sexy on stage.
Oh yeah.
Very
Mhm.
sexy. I would have liked to see one of the more erotic where she's using the mic very phallically.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's where Jill Scott got it from because Tina is really rubbing that thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would have just liked to see a side. Yes, we see she was an amazing dancer, singer. Again, Proud Mary, that performance, we really didn't even touch on it, but that is like the grand poobah of songs, of performances in the movie. I would have liked to see them show us really how sexy Tina was on stage. Like she could be a video vixen if she did actually like have talent.
Right.
So,
Silly.
yeah, that's it. That's
Um.
really kind of only thing that bothered
Any
No.
cultural moments?
the whole thing.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
whole thing. The whole thing. Wouldn't let that happen to me. I don't know. I'm probably not letting somebody. Uh, you never know what you would do, but I would
Yeah.
hope that I would get out of a domestic violence situation a little earlier.
Would you stop messing with your moms after she snitched on you?
Yes,
Okay.
and it looked like she did. We don't see mom too much after that, do we? She
Nope.
ain't at court.
Nope.
We don't see her
Nope.
after that scene of her telling Ike where she was.
Which is a shame for the viewers, just from a Jennifer Lewis standpoint.
From a
Yeah.
Jennifer Lewis standpoint, absolutely, absolutely. But I love Jennifer Lewis, and I don't never want to see her play a character that I wouldn't like. You know what I mean? Shit.
That's real. Any actors from The Wire? No, unfortunately. Still a great movie though. You said wouldn't let that happen to me, didn't you, Rachel?
Yeah.
School, you got any trivia for us?
Yes.
I know y'all said a
So
lot of it.
one thing that so it's a little side note on Lawrence Fishburne, and I said I had this one for you for real, Rich. He's only turned down 2 movies. And he turned this down 5 different times until Angela Bassett. Yes, he didn't sign on until Angela Bassett did, and they worked together on Boys in the Hood. And he felt that he could help her on this movie, in which he did with the 4 times on those heavy scenes and stuff of that nature. But there's another movie he turned down that I found quite interesting. And I know you would find this interesting, Rich. Do you know what that movie is?
No, I don't. What you got?
Turned down Pulp Fiction.
Oh, word.
Yeah.
Ooh, Marcellus Wallace?
No.
Who
You
would it
got
have been?
Jules.
Jules? Nah, hell nah. Jules is
Yeah.
my favorite movie character of all time.
Oh, I know. Yep.
So nah, I mean I love Lawrence Fishburne, but nah.
Yeah, he said
Talking about top 50 actors, Sam.
Yeah.
If Angela might be top 2, Sam might be top 4.
Yeah. He said that he saw some things in the script that he loved, and then he saw some things that he didn't quite like, and he just passed on it. He said he doesn't regret it because it's the movie that made Sam Sam. So he's like, I definitely love that I passed up on that movie because he loves Sam as well.
I'm happy as well, but that is very interesting. I did not know that. I also knew, as far as him turning it down, he said one other thing that could persuaded him was at least them mentioning something about Ike's past that might have like explained a little bit about why he was acting like this. I know he had the scene where he mentioned something about his past or his mom. I can't remember what it was exactly. But that was another piece of why he accepted, because he was like, the original script that he read, and we talked about this before in the pod. The script that we get in the movie ain't always a script that these actors get when it's first
right
pitched.
absolutely.
You know what I mean? So many rewrites take place. So it was a completely different movie in a sense, and had Ike in a little bit even darker place. He was like, at least give it something just to give this character a little bit of light. But I mean, Ike is still the piece. I mean, he's a real person. It's different from a fictional character. He's a real human being. Like, well, he passed, but
yeah,
you know, it's hard when somebody's really living. Like, you really did this shit.
Yeah.
And side note, if you've never ever seen any Ike Turner, just Google an interview from the 80s, early 90s, and you just his mannerisms and how he stutters a lot. Like Lawrence was on his shit, that's for sure.
Phenomenal.
He's a
And shout out,
thespian.
and shout out to both of them, because nowadays I feel like people care more about you looking like the person you're portraying, but those two embody Ike and Tina, and they don't really look like them. And Angela Bassett spoke on that. You know, she's played Betty Shabazz and Katherine Jackson and you know, Rosa Parks. She's played a lot of people that she doesn't necessarily look like, but she damn sure embodies those characters. So shout out to her. And if she don't win this Oscar, it will be a travesty, because the Oscars owe her one anyway.
Definitely.
Well said, School. Did you got any more trivia?
Nah, that was it.
That's
Okay.
it.
I got you. I know there's a lot of inaccuracies. I'm not gonna go through. There's a lot of the stuff that
a lot of it was for the movie. Like
a lot of it's for the movie. A lot of it didn't happen in real life. You know what I mean? Obviously,
Frost wasn't a real person. Jackie wasn't a real person. Yeah, a lot of it was movies.
So who got her into Buddhism?
It was Ike's secretary or someone close to Ike. I can't remember exactly, but someone close to Ike got her into Buddhism. And the way she met Ike and became in the group was not like in the movie as well. Actually, they were at the bar and Ike was on break. Like they take a little 15-minute break, and she actually took the mic and just started singing on it. It's kind of similar, I guess, but it wasn't no American Idol shit. So,
well, we didn't get that. They know they had to pass the mic, but the fact that she went on her own gumption to get it versus
I like that better.
Yeah, low key.
Yeah,
Low key. I like that better too.
I had a couple things for y'all.
Okay.
Lawrence Fishburne actually sang Ike Turner's parts in the film. Whereas on the other hand, Angela Bassett, Tina Turner, she lip synced, and Tina Turner actually sang those parts.
Yeah.
She did obviously all the dancing and the acting, the mannerisms, but she couldn't get the singing down, so Tina actually sang those. But I thought it was pretty impressive that Lawrence Fishburne actually sang. Halle Berry and Whitney Houston were in the running for the role of Tina Turner. How you feel about that?
No.
Yeah. ASAP. Angela Bassett was actually injured during the filming of the first spousal abuse sequence. She fell off a high-rise sofa and she had a hairline fracture in her right hand.
Oh my God.
She actually broke her wrist during filming of the movie. I think that's pretty much it. There was a couple more actors. I know Charlie Murphy auditioned for the role of Ike Turner.
That would have been interesting.
No.
Yeah, it would have been interesting from an aesthetic standpoint.
I would love to.
Yeah, I mean, it's more accurate than Lawrence Fishburne aesthetically. But.
Right, Lawrence Fishburne just bodied this. Like nobody could. Nah. And also there's a couple more actors that were up for the role of Tina Turner. Robin Givens, Pam Grier, Vanessa Williams, and Janet Jackson. They were considered. I'm not saying they were like in the running, but they were all considered for the role.
No. No. Can't see it.
I also think I remember seeing something about Vanessa Bell Calloway, like just being like a devout Christian, and she was able to mouth the Buddhism words or the chant, and they actually had somebody dub over the words. She didn't want to, I guess, put that out there like in real life.
Yeah.
Even though it was acting, she didn't want to keep chanting that over and over. So she mouthed the words and they dubbed it over.
Okay.
So
interesting.
I think I read that somewhere. Other than that, I'll hop in to ask y'all. Y'all did an incredible job. That was fun to witness. that was fun to witness, man. Like y'all passion and y'all love for this movie. Like it's incredible. I learned stuff that I didn't know about it. Y'all made incredible points that I hadn't even thought about. I appreciate having a front seat to all of this. I'm sure all the listeners appreciate it too. But this is, I could actually intervene and ask questions when y'all was doing y'all thing. So that was pretty dope. But I guess we'll end it on this. Too high, too low, just right. The average viewer rates this film 7.3 out of 10. School, too high, too low, just right.
It's too low. I'm giving it an 8.5.
Ray P?
Agreed. Too low. I'm gonna give it an 8.5.
I'm gonna go an 8. And if nothing else, I don't care if you don't even like the film. The acting in the film is incredible.
It's too good. And to your
So
point,
good.
all those people, good actresses in their own right, but this role called for a level of performance that we really ain't seen them other ones, even all of these years later, carry that kind of performance. What this role required of you, and probably the effect that it had on Angela there after the fact, you know.
Yeah.
She should have got her thing.
Agreed.
So look, if y'all leave here with nothing else from me, I know I didn't say a ton. I just want to make sure y'all know 2 things. A, domestic violence is whack.
Super whack.
Real shit. Like it's not like it's a serious issue. It's a serious matter. Hopefully nobody took anything that was said lightly, like as us taking it lightly. We definitely take it seriously.
Right.
You know, we like to break these movies down from a film perspective, not a real life. I think we did acknowledge, of course, Tina Turner. That's a queen of rock and roll. We know she lived this. So we always want to send our love to her. Still with us. Like shout out to Tina Turner. Shout out to Tina Turner. And the second thing I would say is that the acting in this film is phenomenal. Like I don't think it can be overstated how good these two were in these roles. You get anybody else, I won't say anybody, but they made this film special. They were nominated for a reason, especially in '93 when we weren't getting nominated like that. You know what I mean? Like you couldn't ignore this if you wanted to.
Yeah,
like, it just stands out as some of the best performances, and you know, the characters might not have been the best, but the film it's great, and it's early '90s classic. Love it. I appreciate y'all for sharing y'all opinions with it, man. It was a great time listening. Y'all be cool. How y'all be cool?
Peace.
bye.